It's Wednesday, so you know we're winging it. Yeah, we're here in Sidney, Nebraska on a beautiful day.
Oh my gosh, it is Wednesday morning as we're filming this. And since we left South Florida, headed to Alaska, we have been traveling like our hair is on fire. Tons of single night stays, which is not how we normally travel. So we're going to talk about why we're traveling like this and how it's working out for us. That's the topic of this week's Wingin' It. Hey y'all, I'm Stacie.
I'm Tom, and we're RV America, y'all.
As full-time RVers since 2018, we've traveled a lot and met a ton of awesome folks. But we're not done winging it yet, y'all. Join us as we check off our bucket list, experience destinations we've always dreamed of, and discover amazing places you may have never heard of.
Every day is a new adventure, and we're bringing you along for the fun. The next episode of our story begins now.
Okay, let's quickly review the rules of Wingin' It. We set the timer on my phone for 10 minutes. We talk about the topic. When the timer goes off, we wrap things up. This is completely unedited, unscripted,
and you get what you get.
So, 10 minutes on the clock. We're winging it. Oh my gosh. So, yes, we are in Sidney, Nebraska. We are actually at a Cabela's, the world's first Cabela's. And this is the only Cabela's, apparently, that has an actual full-service RV park and campground. We spent the night in a full hookup, pull-through site here at the Cabela's here in Sidney, Nebraska. Neat little campground.
Yeah, it was, and you know, it's no frills, but still, it's a neat little campground. Great overnight stop. It's right off the highway,
yeah.
And also convenient to Love's truck stop.
Yes.
So we got fuel yesterday at the end of our travel day. So we're going to start this morning with a full tank, and that's kind of feeding into this whole video. And I mean, talking about winging it, guys. It's a little chilly this morning. I mean, it's starting to warm up now.
It is starting to warm up.
But we got up early this morning to be able to shoot this video before we hit the road, because we're headed to Spearfish today, and luckily we're going to take a little bit of a break when we get to Spearfish. We're not going to do a one-nighter there.
But let's talk about why are we doing so many overnights? Because when we were part-time RVers, overnights were normal for us.
Right.
You know, we had so many days for a trip. We would set a destination of where we wanted to go to, and then we'd figure out how quickly could we get there with a bunch of overnights so we'd have maximum time at the destination before doing a bunch of overnights coming home.
Right.
When we became full-time RVers, it took us a little while to get out of that habit. So back in 2019, our first full year as full-time RVers, we did several overnight stops. But as we've gone on through the years, that has become more and more rare. And it's places like Ogallala, Nebraska, fittingly enough, since we're back in Nebraska, that taught us that even if you think it's just an overnight, there's always something to see and do, something special about the area. So we do very few single night stops these days. I think last year we maybe did 4 our entire travel season, but we've already done 8 this year since we left South Florida. And I gotta tell you, it's wearing us out a little bit because we're not used to it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of reasons why we're doing it.
Yeah, this time of year, the Midwest area of the United States is kind of a danger zone. That's why we typically don't do the Midwest this time of year, because the weather patterns are really quick, and there are some bad storms, usually a lot of hail, tornadoes, all of that. And so
so you want to avoid that as much as you can.
Yeah.
And we've planned ahead. We're watching the weather, and so far, so good.
Yeah.
But we're heading up this early because, as you know, we're going to Alaska. And we wanted to go up early, A, because some of the places we wanted to see are going to be less crowded.
Yep.
B, we're meeting our caravan in mid-May up in Dawson Creek, British Columbia. And we chose the early caravan because We wanted to get a jump on the travel season, hit it maybe before it got more crowded, see more baby animals. There's a lot of pluses to going up early. But because of that, we do have to kind of watch out for the weather a little bit more than we would have had we gone up a little later. What we're finding is that as we go further north, first of all, the weather is changing rapidly.
Yes.
When we left North Texas just a few days ago, it was in the 80s. This morning we woke up and it was maybe upper 30s even. I mean, it was chilly.
It was chilly, but you know, again, like Stacie said, this year is a strange year for us because we are going to Alaska. We're going to put 2 to 3 times more miles than we do on a typical travel season. So obviously we're gonna have some one-nighters. I think even on our caravan we're gonna have some one-nighters because we're covering so many miles. But really, as we say, our plans are always in pencil, and they have already changed multiple times since we left South Florida. I mean, it's crazy because we still gave ourselves more time. We still scheduled in extra time in case we needed to change that schedule, which we have already several times.
Several times.
Yeah.
So one of the things to consider if you have not come up this far north, and again, we're not super far north at this point, we're only in Nebraska, but we chose this route specifically. We came across western Nebraska yesterday, or we came west across Nebraska yesterday, I should say. And we chose this route specifically because the further north you go, obviously it's still going to be a little chillier. You're still going to run into more weather. You're going to run into more wind at this point in the season. What we're finding, though, is that a lot of the campgrounds aren't open yet because it's not their season. Those that are, some of them are not fully open yet. We've been in campgrounds where part of the campground is open and part of it is not because they're doing their maintenance. Not all of their crew is there yet because they use a lot of camp hosts in these places and they're not at work yet. And the places that we would normally, the reasons why we would normally stop longer in an area to see, like the local museums, for example, they're not open yet, or their hours are very short and not open when we're there. So there's really not a lot of reason right now for us to dawdle on our way up. So it just makes more sense for us to, it made more sense, I should say, for us to stay south as long as we could before we kind of shot past through the weather and up to get to the point where we're going to be meeting with folks and then start our travels a little more leisurely.
Yeah, and you know that luckily, but it's not luck because we've really studied the weather every single day. We have threaded the needle. I mean, we're not all the way up there yet, but so far we have seriously threaded the needle. We haven't even really hit any rain. We hit a little, a sprinkle when we first started north here, but that was it. I mean, we have really avoided the weather altogether, and there has been some serious storms to the east of us, and we're very, very fortunate. But again, we are definitely watching the weather really close, but you know, it's not the way we want to travel, but right. To be able to go to Alaska at this time of year, I mean,
see it wake up, basically.
Oh my gosh,
pretty cool.
I'm really, really, really looking forward to it. It's crazy. And it makes it crazier for us to film content and stuff and even put content out because when we're moving that fast, by the time we get to our next destination, we want to kind of relax. If I've been driving for 5 or 6 hours,
which we don't normally drive that far. Even doing this, we're mostly doing 3 and 4 hours, but we do have the occasional where we have to drive longer.
4 or 5-ish hours.
That's fair.
I mean, yeah, we're averaging about 260 to 275 miles
Right.
a day, and we're not in a hurry. So I'm not driving like my hair's on fire.
Right.
But
that is further than we normally travel
right,
on a travel day
exactly.
too. So we're driving further on a travel day than we normally do, and we're spending fewer nights. We have a lot of overnight stops, single nights, and those are both different for us.
Yeah.
So we are getting a little tired.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, and we're also filming content for our posse, which is real-time content. Literally yesterday we filmed a video on the road, and while we were going down the road, Stacie uploaded it to the posse. We wanted to let them know that we were okay.
Yes.
And that it had gone well so far.
And by the way, we're good. We're okay.
We're okay. Yeah, I was like, she's saying we're good. Yes, we are okay. Things are doing well. We're going to do an occasional winging it while we're here on the road, and kind of bring you up to date, because our stuff on the Alaskan journey is going to be probably 3-4 months from now is when we're going to start those videos
on YouTube.
On YouTube. So the posse's going to see it almost real time, and we welcome you to join the posse, but you're still going to get some of this content. But we want to let you know that this is different for us, not normally how we want to travel, but the gain that we see at the end of this is, I think, going to be epic, really.
Oh, I cannot wait. But we have to get on the road because we are, it's beautiful right now.
Yep.
But where we're going, they're expecting some, maybe some showers and a little bit of wind later on. So we're trying to beat especially the wind as we head north. And hope you're having a great week so far. Look forward to seeing you again soon. And thanks for winging it with us. Until next time, y'all, safe travels.
And happy camping.
Bye.
Bye.